afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Darling Stadium. Today, the Eastern Region Championship game between the undefeated and number 1 seed Phoebus Phantoms taking on the 10-1 Hampton Crabbers, the number 2 seed in the region. Mike Hauser along with Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Brent Musgrove here at Darling Stadium on a cool, rather cold 40-degree weather here on a Saturday or on a Friday afternoon, the day after Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving dinner. Right now, we'll send it down to the field where Bob Hintz has Hampton coach Mike Smith for an interview.
I've got Mike Smith here, Hampton head Crabbers coach, and Mike, every year we're doing these games, and it's been just fantastic to see how you take a new group of young kids and mold them into championship team. And you know, a lot of that's to do with the coaches, but the head coach sets the tone.
Well, I think Danny Mitchell and Alvis Mann's been the key to what success we've had over the years. But this year, we were young, but we had Tyrod Taylor come back, and he's had great leadership from him. So that's been a factor with us being able to get here today, I can assure you.
Well, and everybody's talking about him. You'd like the third-ranked quarterback in this area. There was a little article in the paper at the beginning of the year. But, you have to mold the rest of the kids. I mean, you can have a good quarterback, but you got to have some support group, too.
Third-ranked quarterback in this area this year?
At the beginning of the year.
I don't know where you read that.
I got this article in the paper.
First team All-District last year, and had a real shot at being All-State. So I don't know where that came from, but I wouldn't rank it behind anybody anywhere.
I wouldn't either. Tell me a little bit about Phoebus. What do you expect for them and the kids that you got to watch out for on the Phoebus side?
Well, they're a very complete football team. They play well on both sides of the ball. They play great defense. Very obvious they put up a lot of points this year. And they've got some guys that get the ball in their hands. They're dangerous, particularly Vincent kid. He's explosive. He's a receiver, running back, or wherever he is. He's a tremendous athlete. Their quarterback's done a great job for him. Matt Wright's done a great job on defense, along with Jonathan King and those guys. They played well this year. I know last year and last week they got extended overtime, but I don't think that was their inability to play. Sometimes you get to looking other places, and they've been playing well. And I think it's just one of those things that just didn't play as well as they normally do. You probably play that game over, it might be 48-10 or something. They certainly were the best football team, and no doubt about that.
Well, Mike, one last question. Just wanted your
You want to listen to the national anthem or go straight into the other one?
Done a tremendous job this year.
Well, our defense is our kids have hung in and played 48 minutes every game. We haven't broken a lot, but we've bent sometimes when we. I thought our defense played well last week.
Yeah.
Lake Taylor was a very explosive team offensively, very quick. So I thought we played pretty good last week, and certainly if we're going to have any success today, we're going to have to play well on both sides of the ball.
Well, listen, always a pleasure to talk to you, Mike, and good luck to you today.
Thanks, Bob.
Good enough. Let's go up to Mike.
All right, thanks, Bob. Last week, the Hampton Crabbers played the Titans from Lake Taylor High School and won that game 14-7 on a real tight game. As the Lake Taylor team was going down the field to score, the tying touchdown was stopped. What we'll do now is we'll send it down to the field where Bob has the Phoebus Phantoms head coach Bill D for an interview.
I've got Coach D with the Phantoms with me, and Coach, first of all, congratulations. I mean, I know what first goal was to win the district, and then you move on and you won your first game in the regionals, and that was a tough game last week.
Yeah, that was a really tough game. They're all going to be tough this time of year. There's no gimmies, and you know what kind of game today is going to be. It's going to be a tough football game.
Well, we're talking to other people. They said, you give the ball 2 times to a team that's got a good offense that shouldn't have got the ball, and that kind of puts you in a hole a little
well,
bit.
we hurt ourselves. We did make some mistakes that I thought were uncharacteristic. Those 2 possessions, a punt return that they turned up scoring on, and just did some things that but we played through it, and we got the W, and we're here today.
Well, that's what a championship team is about, is get through the mistakes that you've made. Tell me a little bit about Hampton team, the guys on that team, and the things that you've got to look out for.
Well, they're always, just a sound, well-coached football team, and they're offensively, they're running a lot of base things that they've run in the past. Tyrod Taylor is, of course, excellent quarterback, and they've got a couple good running backs. Their line always does a good job. They're solid, and they've scored enough to win. And defensively, they haven't given up a lot of points. They don't give up. They just bend but no break, and they played solid defense. And there's not much you can say. We played each other so much. There's not a lot of surprises usually in this game, and you just got to get out there and start hitting people.
All right, one last question, Bill. Through your years over here, you've been coaching 25 years. You've raised the level, and a lot of people don't quite understand it. But you're the leadership, but you've got some good coaching staff.
Well, they had an article this week. I wish they would have talked to some of my coaches. It was a good article. They talked to some of the Hampton coaches, but my guys, do it just as well. A great job. All the guys that were with me, Coach Narvard, Coach Day, Coach Van Dyke, late Coach Holbert. Those guys have been with me a long time. And Coach Johnson has been doing the JVs, and he's been with me coming close to 10 years. All those guys do a wonderful job, and are loyal assistants.
Well, listen, first of all, I want to congratulate you again. Wish you good luck for tonight, this afternoon's ball game.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to go up to Mike and tonight's this afternoon's sponsors.
All right, thank you, Bob. Today's game is brought to you by Zoom Sitco with locations throughout the peninsula. Subway located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue with great subs, salads, and wraps. Tanya's Super Pet Center, where pets are not just animals, at 49 West Mercury Boulevard, and in part by Eric Thompson Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or piece of property. Call 881-2004. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Great game today, opening round, or actually second round. This is the regional finals here at Darling Stadium.
I'll tell you, you look at these two coaches, and Bill D's been coaching for 25 years. He's got 202 wins, 73 losses, 1 tie. Mike Smith, 10 years or more, 35 years coaching with 369 wins. 53 losses, 2 ties. That, to me, is just amazing that two coaches of this caliber, that we have them in the same district, and the people in the Hampton Roads area, and especially in Hampton City itself, has to really feel proud to have two coaches of this caliber and their coaching staff. They've just done a tremendous job, Mike.
Well, over the years, a lot of the paper articles this week was dedicated towards the rivalry, so to speak, of not only the Hampton Phoebus, but also the past games between Hampton Bethel and Hampton and Newport News, and Mike Smith's been here for a lot of that.
Yeah.
He's been here a long time. He was a coach at Hampton way back when I went to school at Hampton, so you can see why he's got so many wins. It takes a lot of years to get that many of them.
Yeah, well, he's done just a fantastic job. Well, the winner of this game today, as far as I know, will play here a week from Saturday, and they'll play the winner, the Huguenot, which is the number 3 seed in the Central Division with an 8-3 record, and the Huguenots playing Matoka today, which is a 10-1 record. So the winner of that game will play the winner of today's game here at Darling Stadium. As far as I know right now, I don't think it's changed.
That'll be, I believe, a 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock game probably.
No, it's a 2 o'clock on Saturday.
On Saturday, yep.
Yeah. And, Mike, we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams this afternoon, and that player will receive a shirt. The shirt comes from Tidewater Team Sports, and it's located 11839B Cannon Boulevard, which is in the the Oyster Point section of Newport News. It's your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, and uniform and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara, and we do appreciate them helping us recognize the player of the game. We get a chance here. We'll talk a little bit about these coaches because there was stuff in the newspaper about them, but Mike Smith has got some tremendous coaches. Alvis Mann's been with him since 1972. Danny Mitchell been with him since 1979. He's got Kenny Gilliam, Weymouth Williams, Myron Newsom, George Massenberg, Butter Williams, and Darius Donahue. For the Phantoms, you got Bill D. Greg Navard's been with him for over 10 years as Greg Day, Dick Van Dyke, Ron Johnson, James Holbert, Scott Snyder, Skip Perry, Anthony Robinson, Patrick Johnson, and Brett Birch. So those are the coaches that have put all their effort into getting things ready for today's ball game. And Danny said, Mitchell told me years ago, if we're not practicing Thanksgiving, it's not been a good season for us.
Well, with Thanksgiving being yesterday, and they're in there again this year. Last year, of course, they won the regionals and went to the state. And this year they got a chance of doing it back-to-back along with Phoebus, and the year before that Phoebus did it. So the rivalry goes back and forth, and it's a good thing, as evident by the people that are sitting in these stands, because we have a sellout here. As if we even have some, temporary stands that are starting to fill up now, and there are still people coming in. But when they changed the time from 6 or 7:30 or 7 o'clock at night back to a 2 o'clock in the afternoon game, there's a lot of people that would like to be at this game that are at work now.
Yeah, and you're going to have to take a day off work to get to it. And this is one thing Mike Smith said, why don't we play it on Thursday, have the old traditional
that would
Thanksgiving
really been
game
interesting.
been nice. Or even Saturday at 2 o'clock would have been nice. But it hurt some of the people that they won't be able to see this game live, but they can pick it up when we rebroadcast this game. Talk a little bit about our crew. We got on cameras. We've got Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Stephen Fryer, Mike Nowinski, and Ron ESPN Baton. On graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Andre Mattingly. Camera controls, Sarah Myers. Production assistant, Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse. The director's producer, big guy Scotty Beam Me Up Bowers. We are ready to go. Both teams are back on the field, Mike.
Should be having a coin toss here shortly.
Sometimes they'll do it pre-game, but I don't know if they're going to do that or not. We got a good crew today, Bill Dozier's crew, isn't it?
Bill Dozier, that's right. We got Bill Dozier's crew, and whenever they're ready, we'll give their names.
I've looked at the games on offense that the Mike Smith Crabbers have averaged 292.8 yards a game, and the Phantoms have averaged 355.5 yards a game, and that's a lot of yards that they offensively that the Phantoms have put up this year. And the opponents this year, you go down and look at Hampton beat Indian River 14-7, Gloucester 26-0, Warwick 66-20. Bethel 14-7, Kickintan 6-0, Denby 37-7. Phoebus they lost 6-12. Heritage 28-0. Menchville 62-7, and 34-14. Woodside, and of course you mentioned last week's win at Lake Taylor 14-7. Now the Phantoms, on the other hand, undefeated, beat Woodrow Wilson 66-0, Kickintan 59-14, Denby 35-0, Woodside 32-0, Heritage 42-0, Menchville 74-0, Hampton 12-6, Gloucester 40-30, Warwick 53-7, Bethel 47-6, and last week. Here we go. Listen to Bill Dozier.
Captain Wright. You're Captain Wright. I'm sorry. You're Captain Benson. There we go. Captain Ward. Captain Robinson. Okay, guys, shake hands. Introduce yourselves. Okay. Come on, guys. Okay. All right. Okay. Step on back, guys. Step on back. Okay. Okay, guys. Hampton, I'll call you white. Phoebus, I'll call you blue. If I have a foul, ask the white captain or the blue captain. Two things I want you to take back to your clubs is, the first is when the whistle sounds, it's over. You got a guy wrapped up, the whistle sounds, let him go. Don't stick him on his head. The other thing is when you hit somebody, they know they've been hit, see out of people's faces, we don't want any unsportsmanlike. Okay. Captain Robinson, you won the toss, you elected to defer, correct? Okay, Phoebus has won the toss, they will defer. All right, Hampton, you're going to receive, and you're going to see Captain Taylor, you're going to receive at this end, correct? You're right. Thank you. Okay. Come on back around here. Okay. Come on around here, Phoebus. Okay. Hampton will receive at this end. Bring them out, guys. Have a good game. Good luck to you.
All right, that takes care of it. We get started here with the Crabbers. Will take possession of the ball first, as the Phantom won the toss and deferred.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish up what Phoebus did. Here we go with officials.
Here are your officials. That's Bill Dozier, the referee, George Adamowski. The umpire, the linesman is Nick Hartzheim. The line judge is Tom Chisman. The field judge is Tony Brown. The side judge is John Patrick. And the back judge is Scott Davis.
And who's the clock operator? Well, don't look down there. Tell me who it is.
I was just seeing if he was going to say anything.
That's Tim Ewing.
Tim Ewing. That's JR's brother.
JR's
It could
son.
be JR's son.
I think it's his son. He's awful young.
And he's just sitting down there with that snicker, I tell you.
He may be his grandson.
And I can see what he's doing already. He's already winding it up. He wants that clock rolling.
I tell you, we're ready to go. This game is just about get ready to get underway.
Give you your offensive and defensive starters as soon as we can get a shot at it.
And we want to thank Zooms. We are proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes in the city of Hampton. And we welcome our new corporate sponsor, Tanya Super Pet Center, located at Langley Square Shopping Center. Give them a call or go stop by their place of business at 49 West Mercury Boulevard and Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Order box lunch or your party platter. It's locally owned by Heath Patel in the Buckrow Beach area. Stop by, 1807 East Pembroke Avenue.
It looks like Aaron Ward is getting ready to kick off. That's a change. Back deep for the Crabbers at the 19-yard line as he carries the ball outside the 30 to about the 34.
Here's your
offensive starters for the Crabbers. Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback. Childress is the split in. That's Clemens, Fenner, Swan, and Hill. And your linemen is Richardson, Ragsdale, Childress, Gain, and Garcia. That's your offensive starters for the Crabbers.
We'll show you the defense for the Phantoms in just a second as the Crabbers come out with two wideouts at the top.
And off up the middle for about 3 on the play.
And here we go with the defense. We're starting with Maurice Hampton and Terry Lyles at the tackles. And Colby Walker and Landon Givers, and inside backers Matt Wright and Keith Barnes, who was in on that last tackle. The outside backers Jonathan King and Dante Boone. The cornerbacks Nathan Robinson and Brent Vincent. And number 8, Chris Tucker, is your safety.
The runner on that last play, they say, was number 30.
In the shotgun.
2 wideouts to the top of the screen. There's a single wideout to the bottom here. Back to passes. Taylor is a little screen pass to number 23. That's Justin Clemens. Nice run as he gets a first down inside of Phoebus territory down to about the 49.
Stopped by Robinson and Tucker. He broke a tackle at about the 45-yard line. Watch the replay on here. Nice little screen to the back coming out. And you see one of the tackles that he broke.
The Crabbers' opening drive have their first down of the game, and they have a 1st and 10 at the Phantoms 49. Taylor on a
quarterback
keeper down the right side, forced out of bounds near the 40 or near a first down. Let's see where they mark it. He looks like he's 39. Got it pretty close to the 39, and that'll be enough to give him a first down.
And that was just the option play that he goes down, he fakes, and then he has the option to pitch, and he just kept the ball, found a little crease there.
Nice run as the referee has called timeout to do a measurement. The sticks just happened to be right where the ball went out.
And that's first down.
You would think he'd be able to see that one, wouldn't you?
Oh.
The sticks are right there.
Make sure.
Got about the length of the football. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers, just inside of the Phantoms' 39-yard line.
Back in that shotgun situation of the Crabbers.
He's under center. Handoff is to number 2, and that is Jacoby Fenner.
And it looked like it was a drop of the ball, but not necessarily. No, it wasn't. They called it down.
Going to pick up about 2 maybe on the play. It'll be 2nd down and maybe 8.
The ball did come out, but after he was down, the whistle had blown, and he'd already hit the ground. That was picked up, about 2 yards on the play.
2nd down and 8 now. The ball resting at just outside of the 36 of the Phantoms. 10:05 to go on a running clock here in the first period of play. And Taylor gets kind of hog-tied back at the original line of scrimmage.
Landon Givers breaking through from that defensive end position.
Going to lose about 2 yards on the play.
Watch this right here. Boom, there's Landon Givers. He actually came from the left end position.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 10. It's just shy of that. But
Big
so
3rd
you got
down.
4 wideouts now, 2 to the top and 2 to the bottom, along with Clemens in the backfield with Taylor. Back to pass. Wide open over the middle, and what a hit!
But he had.
They're saying it's an incomplete. They're saying he's down. Saying that the bar, I guess they're calling that a completed pass.
Completed pass.
To number 21, and that was Sean Fields. That was a great catch.
And a nice hit.
But he got hit hard. And the Crabbers are going to get the benefit of this one. I would have thought that would have been an incomplete pass.
Watch it slow down. If he catch the ball, gets hit right there.
And the ball comes out when he hits the ground. So I guess that's a pretty good call.
They're saying that, you're right, the round cannot cause a fumble.
But that was a jolt of a hit. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the 16-yard line.
What a big 3rd down play by the Crabbers. And this
That's a quarterback draw up the middle, and he's going to scoot here to the near side. Going to go out at about the 10-yard line, and I hope he didn't hurt his ankle on that one. Did you see where he got hit low like that?
It looks like they're going to spot it right at the 10.
Pickup of about 6. Watch where he gets hit low as he's going out of bounds. Comes out of that all right as Taylor has a 6-yard gain on a 1st down. 2nd down and 4 now. The ball resting at the Phantoms' 10-yard line. 9 minutes to go now in the first period of play. No score as we speak, as this is the opening drive of the Eastern Region Championship game here at Darlin Stadium. And up the middle to number 30, and that's Pierre Wynn. Like he picks up maybe a yard, and that's it. Be 3rd down and about 3.
Let's see where they spot the ball. They're going to spot it just across the 10, aren't they? At the 9.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Hampton's going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, because they got too many men on the field.
Yep, 12 men.
12 men on the field. You can't have 12 men.
Well, they're running some plays with Pierre Wynn so far in this first half. We haven't seen much of him this year offensively. So that's a new wrinkle that you were talking about earlier. What he might, the Crabbers might do to change things up.
Well, I tell you, this is this game has got everything that the fans would want to see today. All right, Hampton coming back out now. They didn't want to call the timeout, but they had to because it would have definitely been a 5-yard penalty with 12 men on the line on the field for them. But they sent 2 guys in, 2 went out, and then a 3rd one came in, but nobody went out when they were substituting.
Looks like Jacoby sitting beside Taylor, and a little pitch to Jacoby as he's inside the 5. Down near the goal line, fighting his way down to about the 1. That'll give the Crabbers a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Nobody picked Jacoby Fenner coming out of that backfield.
That was actually a pretty play.
What they wanted to do is everybody was keying on Tyrod Taylor, and so when the defense keys in on one guy, it opens up that lane, and there he is. And they've spotted the ball at inside the 1-yard line.
Here we go, 1st and goal at the 1. Keeper by Taylor as he is stopped short of the goal line.
I thought he was going to get in, but you're right, and that brings up a 2nd down.
Well, I was looking at the referee as he spots the ball maybe about a foot or 2 shy of the goal line.
Yeah. Well, you got 4 downs to get it in. You
Second
kind of figured
goal.
that they would get it in.
It'll be hard to penetrate the front line of that Phantom defense as they really stack it up right there in the middle.
Make them go wide.
Second down now and goal inside the 1. Taylor hands the ball off to
And he get it
Fenner.
in.
Touchdown, Crabbers. So the
Jacoby
Crabbers
Fenner.
traveled down on their opening drive of the game to score a touchdown and take the early lead, 6-0.
Watch the replay.
That's Jacoby Fenner. Nice move back, cutting the ball inside to gain the advantage of where the open spot was. You were right making the call that he might need to go outside a little bit instead of trying to go up the middle. That's exactly what he did.
We got Matt Mitchell in to attempt that point after.
And the holder is number 21. That's Sean Fields. Here's the snap. It's down, up. It
And
looks good from here, and it is. So the Crabbers are out in front with 7:20 to go in the opening period of play. Hampton 7, Phoebus nothing.
That's what you want to do. You got the ball first. Phoebus won the toss, deferred to get the ball to the second half. And Hampton did what they had to do, is march the ball down the field and get points on the board and kind of set the tone for this. So that puts the pressure on the Phantoms to redo the same thing that the Crabbers did, is just march the ball down the field and get a touchdown.
That drive was for 64 yards as they took the opening kickoff from the 34-yard line and drove it down. And
was that 7:20 left?
7:20 to go in the first period of play. They had to spend a timeout. Good thing they did at the time that they took the timeout. But it had at that particular time would have been a second down and goal. And so far, the fireworks have started here at Darling Stadium. 7-0 Crabbers.
We got
Getting ready to kick off for the Crabbers now is Marcus Bassett. Aaron Ward is back deep for the Phantoms. Kickoff is going back to Ward at the 10-yard line, at the 20. Scoots outside to the 25, 30. He gets a little crease there and is brought down at his own 40.
You've actually got across the 40, I believe. That's a nice run back. Caught
30.
the ball at about 15, didn't he?
At the 10, right on
At
the
the
10-yard line. So that's a 30-yard return.
We're going to come up with the Phantoms offense. All right, we'll give you the offensive for the Phantoms. We've got Matt Wright at tight end, split end Nathan Robinson, flanker Brent Vincent, quarterback Aaron Ward, Mathis at tailback, and Haroon Brown at fullback as we got to the action. The rest of them, we got Robert Edwards at center, the guards Maurice Hampton and Aaron Elliott, the tackles Andre Holloway and Travis Washington.
That was Haroon Brown on the carry up the middle for about 6 yards on the play. Look where the ball is sitting down here. The ball is sitting halfway across the yard marker, and the yard marker down there is split between the 45 and the 46. There's Mathis on the carry. He's out to the Phantoms 49. He's stopped about a yard shy of
Here's
the
your
first
defense.
down. Crabber defense. That's Evans, Fenner, Childress, Bassett, Brown, and Tyrod Taylor is cornerback playing. Richardson, Haynesworth, Wardreth, Wilson, and Meekins, the remaining Crabber defensive players. So it's 3rd down and 1 at the Phantom 49. Handoff is to Haroon Brown. He scoots to the left side and picks up about 6 down to the Crabber 43-yard line, where that brings a 1st and 10 for the Phantoms.
Brown is just a junior, 6 foot 245.
I believe Tim
Watch the
Richardson for
replay
the
on-
Crabbers was the tackler on the play, right there. Haroon Brown and Mathis are the backs behind Aaron Ward. There's a handoff to Mathis on a give up the middle, and he's going to pick up real close to a 10-yard gain.
He did not play much last week. He bruised his thigh, but boy, you could see on that play. He just zipped right on through. Now we got a officials timeout. Phoebus was going without a huddle, but now they're going to have to huddle up because there is a timeout by the officials.
We'll check.
They're going to measure it. Yeah.
So the Crabbers go down the field and score, and Phantoms are coming back in the attempt at this point to try to come back and score to tie it up.
We got about 6 inches there short of the first down.
Second down and about, 6 inches? 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the open period of play. Wide out on both ends of the line. There's a handoff to Brown to Brown up the middle. That's Haroon Brown, and he's still going. Has not been brought down as he gets down all the way to about the 13-yard line.
He just kept on kicking and moving and kicking those feet.
He wasn't going to go down.
Replay. He was
down right here and just kept on going.
He said, "I ain't stopped. You guys may be stopped, but I'm not stopped." That was quite a pickup for 6 inches. But
First and 10 at the 13 of the Crabbers. That's Brown again up the middle. Picks up about 3.
Crossed the 10-yard line.
Second down and a long 6, maybe 7. 5 minutes to go in the opening period of play. 7-0 Hampton right now. With the Phantoms on the move inside the 10-yard line. Second down and 7.
See where he's going with the ball. He's just been.
This time it's delay to Mathis as he's met at the line and moves forward about 2 yards. He'll pick up.
Looks like he's going to spot it at about the 7.
Tackler there was number 24, Marcus Bassett, on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, we got timeout by the Phantoms.
So each team has used up a timeout on their initial drive.
But the Phantoms can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but they've got to get it inside
inside the 2.
4. I think it's a 2.
Yeah. Maybe the 3.
It looks like
hard to tell because of the angle we're sitting here looking at.
Yeah, it looks like the ball was spotted at the 13-yard line.
So they got to get inside the 3 to get the first down.
The 3.
Here's a little bit of the field sound there as the cameras.
First down, ready?
And you heard the Phantom huddle saying, "Okay, let's get the first down. Let's get the first down." And Hampton is just, if you'll notice, that when it's short yardage, the last time they had a short yardage, they brought everybody right up to the line of scrimmage. They're not expecting a pass at all. They're expecting the Phoebus Phantoms to run the ball.
That's Brent Vincent split out wide to the left on the top of the screen. Brown is now in the tailback spot along with number 25.
That's Kobe Walker.
Is now the fullback. Goes to Brown. He's inside the 5 and he scores. Touchdown Phantoms as they come right back and take the ball 60 yards for the score.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to answer what the other team did. And watch this. Is just nothing but effort right there. Hit, kept right on going and into the end zone. That young man is really impressing me. They're moving him from the fullback spot, as you said, put Kobe Walker in as the fullback, and then gave Haroon Brown the ball, and away he went.
So the Crabbers take the ball 64 yards and score, and now the Phantoms take the ball 60 yards themselves and score, attempting the extra point to tie it up.
And it looks good.
It is.
And we got a tie game.
4:15 to go in the opening period of play. It's all tied up at 7 apiece.
Well, if you're a head coach, you got to say, well, my offense did what I wanted it to do. They went out, they got the ball, they marched it down the field, they scored. Both teams. Your defense, you got to say, okay, guys, you're going to have to get some stops in here.
So the Phantoms will be setting up here at their own 40-yard line to kick off. It is right nippy today.
But
Low
this
40s
is
at
full
the
weather.
best.
If you see the flags on the goalpost, it looks like the wind is coming a little across field, maybe a little bit from our right to our left towards one corner to the other corner.
If you look at the goalpost to the west end, the flags are moving. Down here on the east end, the flags don't look like they're moving.
Right, and you're kicking into the wind if you're the Phantoms, and that's why the Hampton chose that end of the field.
Stephen Fields is in the middle of that bunch there for the Crabbers.
And you're right. Looks like Aaron Ward is kicking off again.
On with Clemens and Fenner. This is, somebody better get on that one. That looks like the Phantoms may be on that one.
Phantoms got the ball.
I'm not sure if that was an intended play or not, but it looked like Aaron Ward's foot might have missed the ball just a hair. But either way.
Number 33 for the Phantoms, and that's Pierre Wynn come up with the ball.
On a misplayed kickoff at the 44 or 45-yard line.
I think that was just supposed to be a squibbler of a kind of a kick, but it hit the one of the front men, and he couldn't get on top of it. He kept squirting out.
Mathis is back in there as the tailback, and that's who gets the ball as he runs wide to the left, met at the line of scrimmage, and picks up maybe a yard to the 45.
Well, he was going north and south, and then all of a sudden he decided to go east and west, and the Hampton Crabbers defense is so fast and they react so quick that once he made that little juke outside, that was all he was going to get.
Picked up about a half a yard to a yard, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Phantoms. At the Crabber 45.
Got Mathis again as tailback.
Here's our first pass of the game as Ward goes over the middle, and it's intercepted by number 5. That's Tyrod Taylor. As he starts as a cornerback and comes up with the interception.
Well, that ball was intended for Brent Vincent.
It was
way over his head.
It was overthrown right into Taylor's hands.
Ball right over the head of Brent Vincent, who was wide open across the center, but you got to get that ball down. You can't throw it high. And that's a big break for the Crabbers because they turned the ball over on the kickoff, and now they got it back in tremendous field position.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers. There's a handoff to Fenner up the middle. He's inside the 10. He ain't down yet, and he's down to the 4. That was another play that looked just like the one that Brown had.
Just went straight ahead and found a seam in there and popped it. Wow, what a run.
So Fenner gets the ball, runs the ball right up the
here,
middle.
watch it. As right here, looks like
Boone.
He's down, but no, he puts his hand down and stops it.
Well, if it hadn't been for Dante Boone standing there for the Phantoms, he may have gone in and scored. Either way, the Crabbers have a 1st and goal at the 4 now as they have trying to take advantage of the interception.
I got 1st and goal.
I believe the interception took place near the 20. There's a Hampton player that jumped off sides.
That's going to bring it back
early.
Little left early, so that's going to bring up a 1st and 9. Actually, 1st and 9.
Still be first and goal.
Goal from the 9.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense, remains 1st down.
Our referee, Mr. Bill Dozier.
Appreciate all you do, Bill.
So the Crabbers, after the 5-yard penalty for illegal motion, will start with a 1st and goal from the 9. We're at 2:42 of the opening period of play. Game's tied up at 7 apiece. Taylor into shotgun, and this is a keeper. It was played real well as he gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Well, it looked like Givers in on this one of the tacklers, but he faked the pitch, and then boom, There's nowhere to go.
And I think they had it covered. I think the Phantoms had that pitch covered also because you could see the linebacker moving towards the runner. Good defense that time by the Phantoms. Second down and goal at the 9.
Look like this might be a pass. Nope.
That's the run straight up by.
But that was a high snap that time. Tyrod had to jump up and grab the ball.
Well, the Phantoms had that one snuffed out, though.
And I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. No, they're marking it at the 10.
A loss of a yard. That's going to bring third down and goal from the 10.
Let's see if they put the ball in the air this time.
Travers send a wide out to the top of the screen. There's 2 down here to the bottom. Taylor back to pass. Little screen is almost intercepted and batted down by the Phantoms, number 7. That's Givers.
He had his hand on it, but he just couldn't come down with it.
So the Crabbers will have a 4th down and 10 from the 10.
Watch the replay right here. The Givers went up, and we're going to have Matt Mitchell come in to attempt a point after.
It might a little bit longer than that. This is going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt from the 7. Let's see. 27 yards from the 17. Sean Fields is the Crabber holder. Snap, it's down. Kick is up, and
Looks
it's on
good.
its way.
And it is good.
27-yard field goal by Matt Mitchell puts the Crabbers back out in front by a score of 10-7.
Well, when you get a turnover, you want to capitalize on it, and that's exactly what the Crabbers did that time. Is they got the interception, took it down, couldn't get in the end zone, but they did kick the field goal, so they got the 3-point lead now. With 1:10 left to go in the first quarter play, we've had 17 points scored already. I'm sorry. Yeah, 17. My.
And we had 21 total the last time these two teams played.
It was
12
14 to 6.
12 to 6.
12 to 6, yeah.
So we're 1 point shy of equaling the last game these two teams played against each other. With final score of that game was the Phantoms 12 and the Crabbers 6. We're at 10-7 now. Hampton with 1:10 to go in the opening period.
I'll tell you, there's not one young man that has not worked any harder than Matt Mitchell over there for the Crabbers. He was not a kicker coming into this thing, and he has really worked himself, so he's a fine kicker.
Kickoff down to about the 14-yard line. That's Vincent, number 12, as he gets out to the 32-yard line where the Phantoms will take over. Well, if you remember correctly, last year, Matt Mitchell was actually the holder for the Crabbers.
Yeah, well, the young man that would kick for him last year decided not to play this year, and I know his sister's husband has worked with him. I know Brian Smith has worked with him, so he's really worked real hard to become proficient at kicking the ball, and he kicks it with a lot of authority.
The Phantoms here take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. And the ball off to the lead runner, or about 4 on the play.
It should have been
that Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
It is 32, Arun Brown. Brown picks up about 4. 2nd down and 6. Ball sitting at the 28-yard line. Like he's putting an audible, changing the play on there. And there's another handoff again up the middle to Brown. It didn't get very far. He may not have even got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I tell you, the Crabbers did a great job of getting lower than the offensive players, and there's just nowhere for the runner to go that time.
Like he might lose maybe a half a yard at best.
Well, let's give him 3rd and 5. Or as Brent says, 3rd and 6.
Referee down here called timeout, and the reason why he's calling timeout is because it's the end of the quarter.
End of the first quarter play.
At the end of the first quarter play, the Crabbers from Hampton 7 and the Phoebus Phantom, Crabbers 10, the Phoebus Phantom 7.
Second quarter brought to you by Zooms, where you can get the Citgo Gas, Krispy Kreme donuts, hot prepared food. Zooms is proud to present the Eagle Award, which recognizes athletes in the Hampton system who have exceeded in academics. Zooms all over the peninsula. And by Tanya Super Pet Center, located at Langley Square Shopping Center, where you can get the dog and cat supplies by the thousands. Tanya's main feature is the pet knowledge of her staff. And the Subway, located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where Heath Patel is there. You drive in, dine in, order the box lunch or party platter special. Subway is at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Give them a call at 722-9513. And if you bring your stub from today's game and you go down there and show it to Heath Patel, he will give you 10% off your order.
All right, here we go. Third down and just over 5. Maybe we'll call it 6. First play here of the second quarter. 10-7 Hampton.
Jacoby Fenner in there at
like Aaron Ward on a caper is going to be well short of the first down. He gets the ball to about the 40, and that's it. So here's the first defensive play of the game.
That was a big third down for the Phantoms, and they needed to get it, and they did not pick it up. They were about 2 yards short, but I thought he should have pitched the ball right here. He should have pitched it. He had Mathis going wide to the outside.
It was brought down quite hard, too, on the play.
Well, there's not much love lost between these two teams when they get out here playing. The kids know each other, and it's bragging rights for the city.
We got Aaron Ward back to punt, and we got
Aaron Ward
looks like Tyrod Taylor back to receive. Nice punt as they're kicking the ball. That's right. They kick it away from the Crabbers, and it bounces inside the 35 down to the 33, where Hampton will take over, 1st and 10.
Well, I tell you, Aaron Ward takes his time when he's kicking off. He doesn't rush, and he took his time and kicked the ball right where he had to. He does not want to kick that ball to Mr. Taylor.
Well, that last play of the game in their first meeting this year was a primary reason why they don't want Taylor running the ball back. So the Crabbers take over, 1st and 10, their own 33-yard line. Timeout is called by the referee. I'm not real sure at this point why he did it.
He just stopped the clock, make sure everybody's together.
Now we're ready to go. 11:06 to go in the first half. We actually have people standing up around the fences. And standing room crowd only here at Darling. Taylor back to pass is being flushed out. And he runs the ball out and comes out of bounds at the 31.
30-yard line. Just short of 31.
He's going to lose about 2 yards, maybe a yard and a half on the play.
And all the receivers were covered downfield, and there wasn't much he could do about it. But try to pick up some.
Second down and about 11 and a half, just shy of 12. Crabbers at their own 31-yard line. They send out 4 wideouts. Yep, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Back to pass is Taylor, being flushed out, going to his left. Tosses the ball up, and it is caught. There's a flag down.
Yeah, there was defensive pass interference, but they'll take the play.
That's Isaac Hill for the Crabbers as he catches the ball down on the 36-yard line. There's also a flag down here on the line of scrimmage. Ineligible man downfield is against the Crabbers.
So that'll be offsetting penalties. We'll hear what Bill Dozier has to say. Ineligible downfield by the Crabbers. Pass interference by the
well, I guess that
Phantoms.
was against Phoebus. He didn't really point that way.
But it was.
Yeah. So,
Here we'll listen to Bill.
There's 2 fouls on the play. There's an eligible downfield against the offense, pass interference against the defense. They all set. Remains second down.
we'll redo it again. Second down and call it second 12 from the 31.
Well, I tell you one thing, the Phantoms dodged a bullet that time because they would have taken the play, and that ball was looked like he spotted right about the 35-yard line. It was a great pass running to the left. Tyrod Taylor did, and that was just a tremendous pass and catch.
Isaac Hill did a good job diving for the ball. He was held up right at about the 45-yard line. This is a play up the middle, and there is a flag down, and that flag sure did go down awful fast.
Yeah, it's usually where they're going to call holding.
I wouldn't have thought there was enough time to call a hold as fast as that flag came in.
See what Bill Dozier says. That ball will come back. He was close to the first down.
Illegal shift, and that was thrown by the back judge, too. Usually a call that's thrown by one of the side referees or the actual referee.
For the illegal shift against the offense, all 7 men not set. Remains second down.
Yeah, I guess the back judge is the one who saw that the player wasn't set when the ball was snapped.
Yep.
He's looking at that spot, huh?
Yeah,
5 yards.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So that
5-yard penalty on the Crabbers. That puts the ball back at the 26-yard line.
Well, it's still second down.
16. Yeah, second 16.
Going to the same formation.
2 wide outs to the top. Back to pass is being. Oh, that's a shovel pass up the middle. The field's wide open, and that's like Clemens.
That'll be a first down.
That's real close to the yardstick.
That's almost like a draw play, just using the shuffle pass.
We'll have to check the mark, but it looks to me like he's about a yard short of the first down. Let's see where he goes down at.
And that's Clemens with the ball.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good mark, I didn't think. That was 23.
You say that was Clemens?
Yeah. Nice play. Third down and less than a yard for the Crabbers. Outside, real close to their own 42-yard line.
Crabbers have 2 long third down situations, and they have
trying to draw the Phantoms offside, didn't work, and timeout is called by the Crabbers. 9:31 to go in the second period of play. Crabbers out in front 10-7.
Wow, I tell you, this game has got everything you want in it. They've gotten the passes, they're running, and it's using some little sleight of hand.
couple of screen plays.
That little shuffle pass was good. The screen pass worked real good for them.
They picked up 16 yards on that little shovel pass. They're a half a yard shy of the first down. So the Crabbers, here we go.
Right now, it's been all offense. Defense hadn't done too much.
Well, as soon as we say that, though, that'll happen. So here we go. Third down.
Both these teams got good defenses. I expect the defenses to step up a little bit.
Here's a handoff to Clemens up the middle.
And he's got it.
He's got it by about 2 yards as he gets the ball to about the 45, where the Crabbers will maintain possession, 1st and 10.
Clemens is a senior, 5'7", 165. Not a real big runner, but I tell you, he's showing some pretty good strength going into the center of that line.
But he's small enough where the defense has a hard time finding him back there.
Yeah, he gets behind those big offensive linemen, you can't find him.
Isaac Hill wide to the left at the top of the screen. You got 2 wideouts down here.
Taylor with the ball.
As he's going to pick up about 4 near midfield. It'll be just shy of the midfield stripe. You see the green H on the field?
Yeah, I can see that.
Somebody came in here and decided they wanted to paint a number or a letter on the field. That very reminiscent of the game between Virginia and Virginia Tech last week. Second down and a little bit more than 5 for the Crabbers. Just shy of the midfield. 8:30 to go here, opening period. Taylor on a fake handoff, carries the ball himself up the middle, gets first down yardage inside the 45-yard line.
Taylor is the heart and soul of this offense.
Well, the way Mr. Taylor operates is how far Hampton will travel. Nice gain.
Watch this. He just fakes it inside and then
follows his lead blocker.
That fake man becomes a blocker.
He just followed him right into the hole. Gain of about 6. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the Phantoms' 44-yard line. Very deliberately chewing up the clock, too.
Well, you take time off the clock and you keep the possession, keep the ball away from the Phoebus offense is what you want to do. And there's a
bad pitch out as Clemens. The ball wasn't anywhere near him, and he's going to lose a bunch of yards.
Well, he did a good job of getting the ball.
He's going to lose about 8 yards on that pitch.
Way out in front of him, but boy, if he hadn't got onto it, he would have not gotten that ball because there was a defensive man coming up real quick on that ball.
So 2nd down and 18 now for the Crabbers after an 8-yard loss on a pitch that was a little off target. Kobe Fenner comes in the lineup now for the Crabbers. He will be the fullback in this position with Clemens behind him. Crabbers have Hill wide out to the top of the screen. 2 down here at the bottom as Ward's back to pass over the middle. That's Fenner over the middle of the field down inside the 40 down to about the, see what they mark it at, the 36 or 37.
He comes right out of that backfield and nobody picked him up.
That was a great play.
Right there, he's coming right out of the backfield.
You saw him go right out of there.
Yeah, and nobody picked him up.
Great spot, too, because they put the ball right where he was landed on his back. 3rd down and about 3 now for the Crabbers.
Crabbers have picked up good yardage when they needed to.
6 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the 2nd period.
Mike Smith calling a great offensive game.
There's Taylor on a keeper up the middle.
And he's got it. Got the 1st down.
Picks up about 5 down to about the 32.
Yep, 1st down.
1st and 10 with the ball resting at the Phantoms' 32-yard line.
Watch the replay. Right there, we've seen the end of it. Taylor under center.
Hill to the top of the screen again. Taylor on a keeper. Almost looked like he wanted to hand the ball off to Fenner up the middle, but didn't look like they kind of made it up to each other when they were after the snap. It looked like the watch this. It almost looked like he wanted to hand it off to him, and he didn't take it, so he got stuck running it, so to speak.
Well, he picked up a yard.
Ball sitting at the 31-yard line. 2nd down and 9 for the Crabbers. We're down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go before half. Crabbers out in front 10-7.
Back into shotgun formation.
4 wideouts now. There's a pass to a wide open Fenner. Nice spin move. He's inside the 20. He's still going.
They got to wrap his
way
leg
down,
up.
close to the 10. Goes out of bounds at about the 12.
I tell you what, Fenner has been the guy today.
Watch this play after he gets ready to be hit. Boom! It spins out of it, and it takes Dante Boone to bring him down.
They picked up another, looks like about 6 yards. We got timeout by the Phantoms.
So the Phantoms called timeout. That's their 2nd of the 1st half. Crabbers still have 2.
Bill D's got to be very upset. They're not wrapping up when they tackle. They're letting the ball carrier continue to run after he's been hit. Well, I tell you, Fenner's a tough little old runner. He has had some tremendous games this year. He plays tremendous defense, but today on offense, he is really doing the job. Trying to think what we got. We don't even show him as one of the leading rushers, but he definitely is today. Really showing his stuff.
First and 10 now with the ball sitting at the 12-yard line. 5:07 to go before halftime.
Phantoms needed what they want to do. Two things they want to do. Bill D needed to talk to them to settle them down and to get everybody on the same page. And number two, to stop the momentum of the Crabbers right now. They're just kind of moving the ball at will. They're picking up large chunks of yardage when they need to. Everything they're doing right now is working. Got the Phantoms back on their heels, and this is a quarterback keeper.
He gets out of the tackle, and he's down. Touchdown!
And he got it. He reached across.
And they gave it. There's the referee on the far side gave it to him. That was a great effort by Taylor on that play. Watch the replay on this. Watch him get away from this tackle right at the line.
Right there. Gets away.
They had him right there. And then he reaches across the goal line for the score.
All the ball needs to do is break that plane, and that'll really put the pressure on the Phantoms. They will now fall behind at least 10 points, or at least 9 points on extra point by Matt Mitchell coming up.
There's the kick. It's up. It looks like it's a little wide left. No good.
Yep.
So the kick, extra point kick, a little wide to the left and no good. And the Crabbers are out in front with 5 minutes and 1 second to go before halftime. 16-7.
Phantoms are going to have to get their offense going. Hampton's defense right now has stepped up and is doing a good job of throttling that potent offense by the Phantoms.
Now the Crabbers have had the ball offensively 3 times, and they've scored all 3 times. 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
And the Phantoms have had it
twice.
And they just 2 times? I thought they had 3 times. They punted 1 time. Well, they punted twice, right? Well, punted 1 time, had an interception, and they've scored. So they've had at least 3 times. They've punted, they've scored, and they've had an interception.
Oh, Bassett now kicking off for the Crabbers. Back deep in the middle of the field is Aaron Ward. Kickoff is down the middle to Ward at about the 11. To the 20, 30. Breaks free outside the 40, down to about the 46-yard line. Great run back.
Right up the middle. Watch the replay on this, and you can see him just takes it, does a good job of following his blockers.
37 yards on the return. So the Phantoms now are in business 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line after a 37-yard return by Ward.
Got a stoppage of, all right, now we're ready to go. Bill Dozier had to talk to George Adamowski, make sure everything was ready to go. George says, Bill, let's play.
Receivers split to the top and bottom of the screen. Ward back to pass. Being flushed out of pocket. Down he goes.
Great defensive job that time.
I think the defensive, the Phantoms only sent 2 wide receivers out into the pattern, and the Crabbers had 5 or 6 players back here to cover them.
Willie Hainsworth, 245, 6'3 senior, number 65, playing that defensive tackle position. Hainsworth making the drop loss to look like, what about
7 yards
7
on the play.
yards. Wow.
Second down is 17 now for the Phantoms. The ball resting at their own 40. They're in the I formation. The wide receivers split left and right. Back to pass again is Ward. There's a player wide open, and he gets out of it again. There's the pass long down. This one might, oh, man, it was overthrown just by a hair to Vincent.
Vincent slowed down and
we're going to have a roughing the passer back here.
Ward looks like he's shaken up.
We'll see if we can see the end of the play where the roughing the passer may have taken place.
I don't know if we'll be able to see that or not. Oh, he'd let the ball go, and the guy was 2 steps from him before he hit him.
There's also a flag on that side of the field. So we've got 2 flags.
And they're showing.
Did he say both were against Hampton?
I don't know.
We'll hear Bill.
We have a multiple foul. We have holding against the defense. That penalty's declined. We have roughing the passer against the defense. That penalty's accepted. 15 yards and a first down. Thank you.
And so they had a first or second down and 17. They get a 1st and 10 now after a 15-yard roughing the passing.
But that's an automatic first down because it didn't really get to the stick, so the ball is set on the 45 of the Crabbers, and they're taking a timeout.
So that leaves the Crabbers. Well, that's let's see. The board now says Hampton has no timeouts left.
Well, they don't. They took one early in the first quarter. They took one when they tried to get them to jump offside,
right.
And this is your third one.
The Phantoms are left with one. That's their last timeout for the Crabbers.
Well, Brent Vincent came over here and was just in a hook pattern, and then he took off. He took off when he saw Aaron Ward scramble, and it looked like he slowed down a little bit, and then the ball took off. So he just couldn't catch up with it.
Mike Smith is over there talking to Bill Dozier, and he's
not a happy camper.
Not happy. If he had his hat on, I guess he'd have it turned around backwards about now, huh? But he is still going at it with Bill Dozier.
I don't know which call he didn't like, either the holding or the roughing the passer, but he didn't like something that went on out there.
All right, the Phantoms have the ball 1st and 10 now at the Crabber 45. We're down to 3:58 to go here before halftime.
They got a lot of time. They can just march that ball right on down the field.
They send 2 wideouts to the top of the screen. They're still in the I formation with Broom Brown as the fullback. Like he's changing off of the play. See if they do that little crisscross. Nope, Ward's going to keep it up the middle. Going to pick up about 3 yards on the play as he gets down near the Crabber 42-yard line.
He called his own number that time. He saw something that he thought he could pick up a lot of yardage. He only picked up 3. That defense just clubbed. They just pinched right into where he was.
2nd down and 7 now for the Phantoms.
All right, now we got a 2nd and 3, and the clock is moving 3:20 and moving.
Pitch back here to Vincent, who's in the backfield for the first time. Nice play by the Crabber defense, and I believe that was
stopped him short of getting the getting the first down.
Taylor actually came in there from the cornerback spot and stopped him.
Watch this pitch, nice pitch. You give it to your speedster, let him get outside.
Boom, there's Taylor hitting him.
Yeah, he was wrapped up down below, and then Taylor finished the job, but that brings it 3rd and short.
Like 3rd down and 1.
Picked up about 6 yards on that play.
They need to get to the 35 to get to the first down. There's Brown as he's close, but it's going to depend upon which foot is he going to mark it with.
He puts it right at the 35. John Madden used to say right foot, left foot.
And where they put the ball down.
He put it right on the line.
It's going to be real close.
He put the nose right on the line. We'll see how straight these lines are that they marked off on the field.
2:26 to go now. And either way, if he doesn't get it, it'll be a 4th down. Short by about 2 inches.
About 2 inches, and you got 4th down, and you got to go. You got to go for it.
If he attempted a field goal, it would be about 52 yards.
Well, they're not going to
attempt
no
not too many of them in high school nowadays that can kick 52. I think he would have gone for it anyhow. 4th down and under a yard here as the Crabber defense is.
And you know you're going to go right with the quarterback keeper.
And there it is, and he's going to pick up enough yardage to pick up the first down. Like he's going to pick up about 2.
Yeah, going to move the chains. That's the big thing you wanted to do.
The Phantoms' drive continues as Ward picks up about a yard on the play. That's all he gets. Look where they marked it. That was just, a yard's all he needed. He actually only needed 2 inches, but they gave him a yard. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms. Clock is running. We're down near 2 minutes to go.
No time to panic yet and start throwing the ball in the end zone.
But they don't want to give Hampton the ball back with any time left either. There's a flag up the middle as Ward gets hammered as he runs the ball up the middle for about 4 yards.
We're going to have holding. That's where that usually comes in, and that's the preliminary signal.
You watch Ward when he gets hit, though. He gets hit pretty good. Boom. A little bit on that was a hit that was on the side, too. So he
okay,
holding against the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Wow,
that's
a big
penalty.
That's about
a
13-yard penalty from the
original line. Yeah. So after a holding penalty, drop pushes them 13 yards back. First and 23 now for the Phantoms at the Crabber 48. A minute and 30 to go. Nathan Robinson in motion there. Crabbers are only sending 3. That pass is underthrown and almost intercepted by Taylor.
And he threw that off his back foot. He couldn't get any power behind that throw, he being Ward.
Sitting here watching Ward after he let go of the ball. He sat there for a while and some little extracurricular activity going on over there, and Ward was just sitting there watching it. Second down and long now with a minute and 10 to go. Second and 24. As Mr. Musgrove over here says, he looks at me and says it's 24, not 23.
Well, listen to him. Man knows what he's doing there, I guess. Think he's going to pass it? I think he's going to pass it.
They faked the draw. Oh, the ball was intended for Vincent and almost intercepted again.
Again, over the head of Brent Vincent. He's throwing the ball too high.
And he was open over the middle, too.
Well, he was when they threw the interception.
So now it's third down and 24.
Got a minute and something to go. Every time you have an incomplete pass, you stop the clock. Going to get a chance for the Crabbers to get the ball.
Minute and 6 to go here. What do you think? They're going to go ahead and try to get a first down here, or
they're going to try to get something?
They want to get a score, but they also don't want to give Hampton the ball back with a lot of time either. There's a little screen pass. Was his knee down? I guess not. He's still going. That's Vincent. He's going to pick up enough yardage as he gets down near the Crabbers' 36-yard line. Well, short of the first down.
The Crabbers
timeout now is called.
Coaching staff is saying, wasn't that knee down?
You know, we can look at it again.
Again, it looked like.
Back it up so we can see it there.
Looks like it's hard to tell from this point, but it looked like it was down.
Fourth down and 13. And if you look at the replay, it's you know, the shadows kind of hide a little bit, but it looks pretty close right there. That's why they get paid the big bucks down there in the stripes, huh? Timeout called by the Phantoms. We're at 49 seconds to go before halftime. Crabbers out in front, 16-7. Fourth down and 13 for the Phantoms.
Well, this is more manageable than 24. More manageable. Starting from the shotgun, which I was surprised they haven't been running. We only got 2 wideouts, but you got to watch your big man coming from the tight end spot, Matt Wright.
Oh, bad snap. Ball's still free. And he ain't got no timeout. You can hear the coaches for Hampton up here hollering, call timeout. Either way, the clock's going to stop. because it's a change of possession. Bad snap from center as Ward had to go to his right to get the ball, and the Crabbers are going to take over 1st and 10 right there next to midfield.
I tell you what, this is a big play by the
Watch him.
Phantoms. I mean, that really hurts you.
That goes as a fumble because the Crabbers came up with it.
Well, they would have got the ball either way because it was the 4th down.
Back to passes. Oh, there's a shovel pass again to Clemens down the left sideline, out of bounds, down at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers.
Knocked out of bounds by number 30, and it's Dante Boone. I tell you, that little shuffle pass really working.
That's the 3rd time they've done it today, and twice it's got big yards for him.
Clock does not start because he went out of bounds.
They have 4 wideouts. That's Fenner and Isaac Hill to the top of the screen. There's wide open down here is number 21. A nice catch out of bounds.
Yes.
At the 2-yard line by, I believe that is Meekins, number 20. No, that's Fields, Sean Fields.
Number 21 for the Crabbers.
Sean Fields down at the 3-yard line.
And to tell you the difference right now in this game is that offensive line is protecting the quarterback for the Crabbers, Taylor.
What a great catch that was.
Caught the ball just as he was going out of bounds.
The 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the 3-yard line. We're down to 20, I believe it looks like 25 seconds to go.
Good thing we didn't have the crew from last week. They had to start the clock.
Oh, yeah. There's Taylor that goes in for the score on a keeper as the Crabbers take advantage of the fumble and go 50 yards in about 20 seconds.
Well, I tell you right now, the Crabbers are going to say, we're going to kick the extra point. It'll give us 23-7.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a stoppage in play here. Here's a replay of the ball being carried. I tell you what, that fooled everybody. With this amount of time, you would expect them to try to keep the ball away from the middle of the line, you know, and he went right straight into the line and scored a touchdown. Great job by Taylor on that one.
Nice call by the coaching staff.
Kick is up. It's short, and it is.
It's good.
It's
Just
good.
got through.
It went through. It don't matter how it did it, but it went through.
It don't have to be pretty.
23-7 now with the Crabbers out front with 20 seconds to go before halftime.
Reminiscence of last year when Hampton jumped out to a 20. Elon Lewis right there down here from Tech watching this game. But last year, if you remember, Hampton jumped out to 20-0, and then the Crabbers came back, but the Phantoms came back, but they ended up losing the game. And right now, the Crabbers are definitely in control of this game. The Phantoms are just making some they're hurting themselves today. They're hurting themselves.
Well, this is probably the most proficient looking offense that we've seen out of Hampton this year. They're very methodical the way they're moving the ball up the field. The precise as Tyrod Taylor's passes have been on the money.
He's had some
his receivers
nice
are catching
calls.
it.
They've
Absolutely.
nice catches. The play calling has just been excellent. Catching the Phantoms back on their heels. Those little passes, little squib passes, just. We have a stop.
Crabbers were offsides.
Yeah, that's illegal procedure, so they'll kick them to 35. But that little shuffle passes work. They've run a screen pass, the long passes. He's able to get it to his play, and then you get the ball to a young Mr. Jacoby Fenner, and you can't bring him down. And Tyrod is taking the ball, and he's moving it. They haven't had many plays where they've had negative yards.
Phoebus is very lucky that the Crabbers were offside on that kickoff because they were having a hard time picking that kickoff off. Looked like they were fumbling the ball around back there, and Crabbers were running down the field like they were wanting to get the hold of that ball.
Well, I'm sure they did.
That's what they're there for, right?
That's the point of the game. I get the ball, you don't.
We'll kick it off again, this time from the 35. Pooch kick down to. Oh, and he called a fair catch,
which is
I believe that's Arun Brown that caught the ball at the 36-yard line. So the Phantoms will take over. First and 10 at the. They're going to mark it at the 36 or 37. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 37. First and 10, 20 seconds to go before halftime. Sure is quiet on this side of the field today.
Well,
usually the other way around.
Well, right now the sun is heating up the Crabber side of the field, and it's cool over here in the shade.
Draw play up the middle. I believe that's Mathers. There's a flag that's thrown right into the.
That looks like that could be holding.
Flag was thrown by the referee, Bill Dozier. It is holding on the Phantoms.
They just want to get out of here.
Might be a good thing here just to do down the ball. With that down to 15 seconds to go before half, I'd take the penalty and push him back another 10 yards.
Holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty spot of the foul. Still first down.
They'll lose 11 yards on that one because it went from the spot.
Good point right now is that you're going to get the ball to start the second half, you being the Phantoms, but you are trailing 23-7.
You don't want to make a mistake right here either.
You just down, you go on one knee and get it out because nobody can stop the clock.
And off to the fullback up the middle, picks up about 5 yards out to the 30. As clock is run out now here at the half.
And you can see this Crabber side is happy as the Dickens.
Well, we're at halftime here at Darling Stadium, the Eastern Region Championship game between the Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms. Halftime score, Hampton 23 and Phoebus 7. Stay tuned for second half action. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Darling Stadium, everybody. Eastern Region Finals. We're getting ready to start second half action here. 23-7 in favor of the Crabbers at the half. Halftime stats, Bob?
Well, I got the Phoebus rushing 18 times for 74 yards.
Crabbers rushed the ball 22 times, 119 yards in the first half.
Arun Brown got 8 carries for 55 yards.
And the leading rusher for the Crabbers was Clemens with 45 yards.
Passing has kind of been the downfall. They've 1 of 5 with 1 interception for 10 yards, and that was to Brent Vincent.
And the other way around, the Crabbers 4 of 5, 97 total yards with Derek Fenner having 3 receptions for 61 yards.
Phantoms had 5 first downs.
And 11 for the Crabbers for first downs.
Total yards 84 for the Phantoms.
216 total yards for the Crabbers in the first half.
We've had 1 fumble and lost that. The Phoebus did.
Hampton didn't have any fumbles in the first half.
They had 3 penalties for 25 yards.
And the Crabbers were penalized 4 times for 30 yards.
And time of possession was 13 minutes plus for the Crabbers and 10 plus for the Phantoms. So right there shows you that the being dominated right now.
2 turnovers.
By the Crabbers.
2 turnovers were key factors. The interception on stopping the Phantom drive, and just before about 2 minutes before halftime, Phoebus had the ball down inside of the Crabber 30-yard line. A couple of fumbles or a couple of penalties and a drop ball off of an errant snap to Aaron Ward, which ended up being recovered by the Crabbers.
Well, they would have got the ball anyway.
That's right.
At the point of where the ball was down.
So here we go with the Crabbers getting ready to kick off. Kicks off down the middle of the field. It's on the far side, right short of the 15-yard line, and that is, I believe, Robinson. And Crabbers,
they take him right down at the 15.
It looks like he only gained about 3 yards total as he decided to start running across the field. Crabbers' defense came up big on that play and stopped him at the
east
16.
and west instead of north and south, and they were down there. They being the Crabbers were down there real quick. So that puts the ball first and 10 from the, what's that,
16, yeah. 16. So here we go, the starting of the third period of play. Two wide receivers to the near side of the field. And the ball off to the first back. I believe that's Brown.
Brown carried the ball, stopped by number 62 for the Crabbers. And that's Big Tim Richardson, 6 foot 230.
Pick up a 4 on the play to the 20-yard line.
Watch the replay.
Second down and 6.
I think this is what the Phantoms do best, is just move the ball on the ground and grind it out. Don't think you can panic yet.
This is Ward on a keeper. He gets outside of the tackle and comes to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of about 10 yards on the play.
Well, he was tripped up by number 22. Watch the replay, Barnes, and then he was finished off by number 5, Taylor, playing that cornerback for Tevin Swan. Tevin getting hurt. That's a first down.
First and 10 for the Phantoms at their own 30-yard line. A minute into the third quarter of play, 23-7 in favor of the Crabbers. And off to Haroon Brown, up the middle to the 40, outside to the 41.
Well, he just ran over one of the would-be tacklers. Finally, number 55, Sean Childress, with a couple others, finally tackled him, but that was just a cross buck. Watch this. He fakes it one way and then hand off inside right there to Brown, and you see him just run right over one of the would-be tacklers for the Crabbers.
We'll call it a gain of 12. That's a first and 10 with the ball sitting at the Phantom 42.
He's showing a lot of strength.
This is Mathis with the same run up the middle. Is going to pick up about 2. He's going to be short of the 45.
He ran into Big Anthony Wardette, 6'1", 205. Wardette playing that defensive end position. Just hung him up right there. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes in the Hampton City schools. Appreciate David Allen and Zooms.
Second down and 8 now for the Phantoms, just shy of their own 45-yard line. 10 minutes to go in the third period of play. Blitz through the middle of the line. What a...
Oh, that's Fenner.
Did he got that right on the snap as he came through and shot the gap.
They're going to spot it at about the 36, 37-yard line, but what a great job. Watch that. He was there when Ward was handing the ball off. Fenner almost got the handoff.
That's close to a 5-yard loss on the play.
Tanya Super Pet Center, located Langer Square Shopping Center. Stop by the reptile department and see Big Ben, a 17-foot Burmese python.
Third down, almost 15 for the Phantoms.
Well, that brings up a big third down. I think you're looking for the pass.
That's up, throws the ball well short. The ball was 10 yards short of the intended receiver, who was number 2, Robinson, out there. Ball looked like the nose of the ball just went right straight down.
It was not a real good pass. Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Order your favorite combination on freshly baked bread, meat or vegetarian, from a 6-inch sub to the ones that Bob Killen like, 6-footers. Sure to satisfy any appetite. Stop by and see Heath Patel.
So 4th and 15 for the Phantoms. Ward back to punt and that looks like Taylor.
That should be Taylor back.
Taylor back at his own 30.
And he's going to try to kick it away from Taylor, but now he kicks it high.
Going to be short and out of bounds over here on the near side at about the Crabber 37, where Hampton will take over 1st and 10.
Ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line where the Crabbers will take over.
Like maybe about 27 yards on the punt.
If you're the Crabbers, you came out and did what you needed to do, and that was stop the initial drive of the Phantoms. Had the Phantoms been able to take the ball, drive it down, and score, that would have given them a little bit of momentum. But
1st and
now
10.
your defense stepped up for the Crabbers when Jacoby Fenner shot through the gap and threw him for a loss. And there goes Taylor.
Right up the middle of the field, wide open, in the open. If he gets the block, he'll go out of bounds at the 16-yard line. He marks it at the 17.
Brent Vinson was after him, and he said, okay, Brent, I'm going to go out of bounds. I ain't going to let you hit me. What a nice play that time. Just ran away from some defense right here.
Let's see where they mark him out of bounds.
Just a great run. And right here, Vincent says, okay, I'm going to get you. He said, no, you're not.
Great run by Taylor up the middle. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the Phantoms 17-yard line.
Well, actually, that wasn't up the middle. He went over and actually went off tackle to the right side, but just outran any would-be defensive lineman.
That's Taylor again on the keeper. He went to the left and then scooted back to the right. Little scuffle back here about a couple of linemen, and the referee had to break that one up.
We watched the replay again. Taylor keeping the ball.
Watch him jump and scoot back to the right.
Well, where he wanted to go was the defended real well, so he found an open area and picked up about 7 yards.
2nd down, a long 3 now for the Crabbers with the ball resting at the Phantom 11. They send out 2 wideouts to the top. Rod Childress is one of them. That's a handoff up the middle, and that's Jacoby Fenner as he picks up what looks to be a 1st down near the 6-yard line.
Keith Barnes, one of the initial tacklers on the play that time, assisted by a couple others. We're going to have a
measurement here.
Timeout for a measurement.
I called him Derek Fenner earlier, by the way.
That's Derek's playing college ball.
Yeah.
That's Jacoby.
I believe we asked Mike Smith in an earlier game, is this the last Jacoby coming up?
He said, I hope not, but I think it is. That's a 1st down. Got it by more than a football.
1st and goal for the Crabbers at the 6-yard line.
This could really put the pressure on the Phantoms. You're up right now by 16. So right now, what you're looking for is, if you're Phoebus, you're going to have to have a big defensive stand.
And off to Fenner as he's hit right at the line. He's going to lose about a yard.
Big number 75 for the Phantoms, Maurice Hampton, just a junior, 6'5", 295.
There's a flag that just got thrown in the middle of that.
Boom, right there.
Be a dead ball, unsportsmanlike against the Crabbers. That's going to be a big 15-yard penalty.
Is that after the whistle had sounded?
Yeah, he called it a dead ball foul. That's a penalty that'll hurt.
We have a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against that team. 2nd down.
That team being the Crabbers.
The referee, now wait a minute, are they going to have another one? Here we go with the, all right, here, this is that position. Remember we talked about the penalties when they were inside the red zone? It must have been an offense.
No, what he did, he's got to make sure where the point of the infraction was.
Okay.
This wasn't a double foul.
It kind of looked that way the way he was working, but anyhow, the Crabbers take the ball, be 2nd down and goal but this time it is from the 22-yard line.
Yeah, if he'd had 2 fouls, Mr. Dozier would have told us about it.
So second down at 22 now. Second goal. There's Taylor up the middle. He gets close to the 15-yard line and then is stopped. The third down, it looks like the line judge down there is going to actually mark it on 16.
Jonathan King coming up and making a stop, playing one of those outside linebackers for the Phantoms.
One of the things that I really noticed today about Taylor is his poise of standing there and looking for his open receivers a lot more assuredly of himself today. Third down and goal from the 16-yard line.
That'll happen when you don't have pressure. You got to put pressure on the quarterback.
Well, Hampton's offensive line is doing a great job blocking for Taylor today. Here's a pass over the middle to an open receiver off his fingertips.
That looked like it was 21 for the Crabbers, and that's Sean Fields.
Watch the ball go right off his fingertips. It was a great pass. A little high
for the young man Fields.
So here we go with a fourth down.
5-7.
Fourth down now and goal from the 16. That unsportsmanlike penalty called against the Crabbers earlier on after the first down play may come back to bite him here. Fourth down. Taylor on a keeper. Back to throw. Being flushed out, and then he falls down at his 30, so he ends up losing about 14 yards on the play.
That'll be first down for the Phantoms. They really dodged a bullet that time.
Well, the Phantoms take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
He made a great move here, buy himself some time, and then just kind of stumbled a little bit, and that's what you call a phantom tackler.
You guys giving that phantom tackler credit, right?
Yeah, I didn't catch his number.
1st and 10, Phoebus from their own 29. 6:13 to go in the third period of play. Keeper by Ward around right in.
Number 22 and 24 for the Hampton Crabbers. That's Audrey Minkins and Marquise Bassett making the stop on Aaron Ward after he picked up about, I guess, close to 9 yards.
Oh, second down and 1 now for the Phantoms.
That's Brown, it looks like, on the carry.
I thought he left early, but the flag did come down, and he's going to pick up 3 yards on a first down as the ball is going to be resting at the Phantom 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for Phoebus. See that replay again, see if Brown didn't leave a little early.
See the clock running at 5:30. Here's the replay. Yeah, it could be.
1st and 10 now, Phoebus. 2 wide outs to the top of the screen. Fake to Mathis. Deep pass down the middle of the field. Well overthrown. Pass, I believe, was intended for number 11, Matt Wright. Or is that 12,
No,
Vincent?
that's 12. That's Vincent. Matt's not that fast. Matt's a good, he's got some speed, but he hasn't got that kind of speed. The coaching staff up here are calling the plays a pass or a run.
Incomplete pass now.
You think they've got them scouted pretty good?
Well, we can hear the coaches calling what the play's going to be before the ball's even snapped. 2nd 10 now for the Phantoms after the incomplete pass. 5 minutes to go in the third period. There's a quick handoff here to Brown as he's going to pick up a couple yards. He's fighting his way. Takes about 5 Crabbers to actually stop him after a gain of 3.
Yeah, I don't think he got 3. But that's that inside handoff, fake on the pitch and the inside handoff. You watch, he fakes the pitch, and the hands off inside to Brown, but that time the Crabbers were ready for it.
He got some big yards on that play early in the first half.
Well, that brings up 3rd and long.
3rd and just under 7, or just over 7.
I was going to say just under 8.
2 wideouts to the top of the screen. There's that play we saw him practicing on a little zigzag.
That's just almost like a flanker screen to Brent Vincent. He picked up the first down. And that's all it is. He's got a blocker out in front of him, and he avoids the primary tackler and picked up the first down.
1st and 10 with the ball resting at the Crabber 48-yard line. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go as the clock runs down here in the second period. Hand off to Vincent. There's a flag right at the line of scrimmage by the referee. That's probably a hold.
There'll be a holding call from that point, so you will take that, but it looks like it's almost at the line of scrimmage. You can see the replay there. Nice camera work, guys and gals. I remind the fans, but we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams, and that player receive a shirt. It comes from Tidewater Team Sports, located 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Ocean Point section of Newport News.
Gets the offense. It's a 10-yard foul from the end of the run. Remains first down.
Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniform, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
They lose 12 yards on that play. Still first down, though. Ward keeps the ball up the middle and stopped after a gain of about 2.
Looked like number 65 got his hands on him first, and that's really Hainsworth, and slowed him down and picked up maybe a couple, 3 yards, and that was it.
Like the number 62, Richardson, was also in on tackle. We've seen him in on a lot of plays today. 2nd down and long. 2nd down at 20, looks like. 3:20 to go left in the 3rd period. Hampton 23, Phoebus 7.
2nd and long.
Pass is underthrown. And it looked like it was intended for number 32, Haroon Brown.
That was just, it just threw it into the ground. He's throwing back across the field, and he's just doesn't have the touch on the ball today. See it well short, bounced well in front of him.
Now, earlier in the first half, I saw Aaron Ward down here on the sidelines with the medical staff working on him, and I wonder if he's hurt his hand again. You remember a couple of years ago he broke his hand.
It wasn't a couple of years, it was last year.
Broke his hand during the Hampton game and was ineffective throwing the ball. And so far today it's been the same way. And nice pass. And it was caught by Matt Wright.
Matt Wright couldn't hang on to it, and he is upset with himself.
He got hit just as the ball got there and jarred loose. It's incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th down in about 20.
And they're going to have to punt the ball away to the Crabbers.
And I tell you what,
replay, it was a nice call and a nice throw and pass. As you watch it here, caught him right there good, but boy, he got hit good. Knocked that ball loose. If you remember last week, he got hit as he crossed the goal line and he had a stinger on his shoulder.
Well, I've been watching the players out there since that play, and Taylor looked like he may have been shook up just a hair on that play. There's a punt right up in the air, and that's one he probably should have took a fair catch on, but he lets it fall down at the 26. Picks up about 10 yards on the bounce after the ball landed. So the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. 2:44 to go here in the 3rd period of play, out in front by a score of 23-7.
If you're the Phantoms, you're going to have to get your defense to do something good, maybe create a turnover or something to get back in this game, because right now trading punts with the Hampton is not going to get you any points. You got to get the ball in the end zone. And right now, the Hampton Crabber defense is just stymied. They have stymied the offensive output. Aaron Ward has just not had any time to really find a receiver.
There's Taylor on a keeper out to the 30. Pick up a 4. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Crabbers.
Tell you right now, the way as you see, it was a design play just going off the left guard that time for the Crabbers. And we got a substitute coming in, bringing in the play. Big number 62 for the Crabbers. Tim Richardson. That's who he went over that last time. Now we're out of the shotgun.
There's that shovel pass again.
And that's been very successful for him.
They pick up 5 on the play. It's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
That play has worked 4 times. I believe he's thrown it 4 times and has been a positive each time he's done it. That play was sent in by, of course, Mike Smith calls all his plays, but he's really calling a good ball game today. He's got the Phantoms kind of back on their heels.
3rd down and 1 now for the Crabbers. Isaac Hill wide to the near side, and that is Sean Fields wide out to the far side as the ball's run up the middle. And back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Number
23, I believe that's
40
Clemens.
and 30. 40 Terrace.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4th down and 1.
Well, I don't know if you go for it now or you go ahead and punt it. Your defense is doing so well, but maybe they're going to try to draw them offside. Crabbers have done that time and time again throughout the course of Mike Smith being at Hampton High School.
Taylor on a keeper, and I'm not sure he got the first down.
Well, it depends on what he spotted. He may not have gotten it. I thought he got it on the first, on his where he landed, but that's not
real sure why he would go on a 4th and 1 back on his own 35 to begin with.
Well, that's the call. They're aggressive. They came out aggressive, and they're going to stay aggressive. But we have
this is going to be within inches one way or the other, that's for sure.
I don't think he didn't make it.
No, he's about 6 inches short. Phantoms hold and take over the ball 1st and 10 at the Crabbers 36.
That's one of the very first times that he didn't get the yardage he needed, but I thought that where the spot was not a favorable spot, but you know that we're not down on the field, so we can't see it. We're at an angle here.
So this may be one of those momentum changing plays right here.
The shot in the arm that the Phantoms need. We'll see if they can capitalize on this great field position.
Vincent sweeping to his left, and he ends up losing a couple of yards on the play. Great defensive play by Jacoby Finks. We both did it.
Don't blame me.
Huh?
I wouldn't have done it had you not done it.
Yeah, right.
I haven't called
put the
Derek
name in his
year.
head, right?
You put it into my mind.
Put his name right in his mind. So as the clock runs down, this is going to end.
And at the end of the
that's it. The
quarter,
clock just goes
we'll
zero.
Go down to the field and have Ron Baton with the Phantom cheerleaders. Well,
either way, we're at the end of the 3rd period of play. The score is the Crabbers 23 and the Phoebus Phantoms 7.
Both teams have made a little bit of adjustments during halftime, and nobody scored any points that time. Here, let's go down to Ron ESPN Baton.
You're watching the Phoebus Phantoms on WHCS Channel 46.
What a tough job.
The only one in the crew that could do that.
He's the one that can get it done. All right, fourth quarter brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For information, give them a call at 827-4670, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Also brought to you in part by Eric Thompson, Realtor with William E. Wood. Eric is a Hampton City School alumni and a past state champion in wrestling. Eric will help you sell your home or find a new perfect home. Give him a call at 881-2004.
Second down and 11 for the Phantoms at the Crabber 37-yard line. Now this time he hits, looks like Robinson out there as he's forced out of bounds inside the Hampton 30.
We're proud to have David Allen Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Hampton Zoom supports the student athletes in the Hampton City Schools as we watch the replay. And we welcome our new corporate sponsor, Tonya Super Pet Center, located at Langley Square Shopping Center, providing Hampton Roads with the highest quality of pets and pet products for over 11 years. That's 49 West Mercury Boulevard.
Third down and 4 now for the Phantoms. The draw play, that's the first draw we've seen today, and the Crabbers have that one played well.
Yes, they spread it out. They spread it out.
It looks like Vincent's going to lose about a yard.
By going east and west and not north and south, and the Crabbers have got a lot of team speed. And Subway at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where Heath Patel is there. Yeah, they have subs, wraps, cookies, salad, and more. The bread is always freshly baked. Stop in and say hello to Heath Patel and try something good.
Fourth down now for the Phantoms as they will go on fourth down. Ball resting at the Crabber 30.
Well, they have to. They're behind. You got less than a quarter to go, and you've got to get something going for your team.
Keeper, and he is not going to get it.
No,
he's going to be defense. 2 yards shy of the first down.
Great defense by the Crabbers. Just come up and stopped him. Aaron looks like he's trying to take it on his shoulders and do it all himself. He's got to use some of his teammates there. He can. Right here as he cuts in, he's not even looking to pass to pitch the ball to Vincent, but I think Vincent was pretty well covered also.
Great defensive play by the Crabbers that time. They take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line. We got 11 minutes exactly to go in the game. Crabbers out in front 23-7 over the Phantoms.
See the shadow, the sun is going down, and there we
goes
go. The
Taylor on a draw. Oh, he breaks free. Nice stop right there. He's going to go to the house.
He's going all the way in. Nobody going to touch him.
Touchdown, Hampton.
And that's from the 20.
That's 73 yards.
Whoa.
Breaks free up the middle and goes 73 yards for the score.
What was really neat about that play is when he started to make his move, watch it, he sidesteps a would-be tackler right here and then just takes off, and nobody can stop him. He just outruns.
That added block right there is what freed him up.
There's no way anybody's going to get him. This quarterback draw has been working for the Crabbers, and that kind of put the pressure smack
29-7 now as Matt Mitchell's in to attempt the extra point for the Crabbers. Added a hold of number 21, Sean Fields. There's the snap. It's a fake. That was not going anywhere as they had that one snuffed up. And Sean Fields gets hammered pretty good out of bounds over there, but the extra point attempt no good. With 10:48 to go in the game, the Crabbers extend their lead now to 29-7.
I'm surprised that they did that. You got a 29-7 lead.
Yeah, the extra point would have been all right.
But again, you're trying to make the Phantoms keep them back on their heels, and that's exactly what it is. And what they're saying, they're saying, we're going to make sure that you don't get any momentum here. The Crabbers said, we're going to continue to attack you, and we're going to try different things and keep you off balance, and that's exactly what they've been doing all game. That shuffle pass, the quarterback draws. Oh, what an excellent called game by the coaching staff.
Oh, the Crabbers on a 73-yard run up the middle by Tyrod Taylor have extended their lead now to 29-7 with 10:48 to go here in the game. Your player of the game numbers are kind of getting closer and closer to who you think we're going to get now, right?
Yep.
They've actually cut the lights on here at Darling Stadium. Eastern Region Championship game.
That shadow looked like there's a lot of people out there with making it tough on the cameras.
Here's the kickoff by the Crabbers. Well, almost like an onside kick.
It was an onside kick. That's what I said. They're going to do everything. Going to keep the Phantoms completely off balance, and they have been doing that.
Well, the Phantoms get excellent field position here after that attempted onside kick, as they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. John Fields was the player standing by the tee. He was the safety guy just in case. Phantoms got the ball and ran up the middle, but didn't need to. The tackle was made at the 44, so the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10. Trailing 29-7 here in the 4th period of play.
No, they got to pass it.
Aaron Ward with a pass over the middle is overthrown. Almost intercepted by 2 Crabbers.
Ball was intended for Brent Vincent.
Well, I think it was a little bit high.
See, a replay is really see the shadows. Yeah, it really was high. Brent got his hand on it, and then Denathan Robinson had a chance for it, and then 2 other Crabbers had a chance for it.
Oh, the incomplete pass brings up a 2nd down and 10. Back to throw over the middle. Completed to Robinson at the 40 as he is forced out of bounds at the Crabber 30-yard line. Nice play.
Good play that time. A nice catch by Denathan Robinson.
25 yards on to pick up for the Phantoms. 1st and 10 from the Crabber 30. Here's a replay.
Right now, the Phantoms have got to score, got to get the ball back and score. Right now they got 2 opponents. They've got the Crabbers and the clock.
Passes outside to number 12. Vincent is going to pick up about maybe 2 on the play. Defense on the Crabbers was there.
Number 24 for the Crabbers, Bassett.
That play started off like it might have been a double pass because it was more of a lateral.
Bassett, just a sophomore, come up big defensively more than once today. We have a officials timeout.
2nd down and 9.
Now we're going to start. Had an equipment problem.
2nd down and 9 now for the Phantoms, just inside the Crabbers 30-yard line.
Hey guys, get back, please. I may have to come down that way. Thank you.
Oh, man!
You think he had that time? Number 12, 24.
I tell you what, that is a backwards pass. Did anybody stop the clock?
Yeah, they called it.
They called it incomplete pass?
Yep.
That was close to being a backwards pass itself, but either way, the referee calls it incomplete. 3rd down and 9 from just inside the Crabber 30. Second down and 9 at the inside the 30-yard line. Everybody in the house knows that it's a pass. That's Robinson on the completion down inside the 20.
Well, everybody's looking for Vincent, and that leaves Robinson open. He's doing a good job of finding the open spot.
That's a 1st down for the Phantoms at the Crabber 16-yard line. And these are some of the pass plays that they had last week against Maury that were successful. Hand off up the middle to Mathis as he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on the play. We are at 9:20 to go in the fourth period.
Matt Wright coming over to the sideline to get into play.
Pickup of about 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6 for the Phantoms. Robinson goes out wide to the top of the screen. Vincent to the bottom. That's a pitch out. And Mathis is pretty well hemmed up.
There's a flag on the play.
He's going to lose about 8 yards on the play.
That play didn't look good from the beginning. We'll see what the flag is.
The way Phoebus is walking back, it looks like it's against them.
Well, what you do is you take the play. You take the play instead of the flag. Just didn't look good.
I'm not so sure they don't take the play, the flag, of the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the play. That's what they did earlier.
That's what they're doing.
Holding against the offense. That penalty's accepted. 10 yards from the end of the run.
So not only did they lose about 7 yards on the run, they ended up losing another 10 on the penalty.
The ball setting at the 29-yard line.
Second down now, 23 for the Phantoms. We're at 8 minutes to go in the game, 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. We still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, Scotty.
Back to pass over the middle was behind the intended receiver.
Yeah, but just hold on to him a minute.
That pass was intended for number 11, Matt Wright, and the pass was actually behind him.
That was, again, just doesn't look like Aaron has got the touch on the ball today.
3rd down and 23 for the Phantoms.
I will see what they got. They're going to go 4 downs.
Ward being pressured and throws the ball out of bounds. That could be an intentional grounding because there was no receiver over here at all. There was no receiver within 15 yards of that ball. You can hear the Hampton coaches over there. You can't throw the ball out of bounds like that in high school. Don't matter. 4th down. Ball is incomplete, thrown by Ward as the ball was thrown actually out of bounds. 4th down and 23 for the Phantoms.
And you got to get the ball down inside the 10-yard line to get a first down. This is one of the last gaffes. Phantoms just been outplayed today on both sides of the ball.
Back to pass is Ward, flushed out, and down he goes. Fumble!
And he fumbles, but it didn't make any difference. The ball going over to that Crabbers anyway.
Oh, the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10.
Well, they got that fumble, but still they would have got the ball in anyway. But the defense for the
Hampton's
Crabbers
defense have really played well.
Been all over Ward. Ward's never had a chance to really set up and find a receiver. And you got to take your hat off to the Hampton Crabber defense. And I talked to Mike Smith about that during the interview, about how well that defense have played, and they really came to play today. But their offense looked as sharp as I've seen them look all year long. They really moved the ball. They've executed without flaw, and that's what you have to do if you're going to win a regional contest.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers.
It was just a quarterback keeper again, and Tyrod picked maybe a yard or two.
It's to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We're under 8 minutes to go now in the 4th period of play.
Wow. Taylor rushing the ball 173 yards.
Well, you know, we talked early. We talked early before the game started about how Hampton rolls as Taylor plays, and today is very evident. He's his line has done a great job, and it looks like we're going to have a delay of game call. Yep.
But you know what really impresses me with Mike Smith and his staff, Mike, is
Prior to the snap, delay of the game against the offense, 5 yards, remain second down.
Is how the Crabbers seem to peak at the right time, that they peak when they go into the playoffs, that they're getting better and better and better, and they reach their peak when they get into the playoffs. And the way they're playing right now, it's going to be hard for any team in the state Division 5 to stop them.
Second down and 13 now for the Crabbers. Back to pass is Taylor. Being flushed out. A nice move to get away from that block. You got a receiver down here is wide open. He's still running.
Well, he can't find him.
Like he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but in the meantime, he ran off about a minute on the clock.
Well, not only that, but he probably ran 50 yards.
All he needed was a split second because number 21, Sean Fields, was down here on the 30, and there wasn't a defender within 15 yards of him, but he couldn't find him.
Well, not only couldn't find him, but
it was right here at
moving.
this point that it happened, too. But he gets outside. He ends up picking up about 5, maybe 4 yards on the play, back to the original line of scrimmage. The all-important time factor, though, it ran out of bounds and stopped the clock. Third down and 10. In the shotgun, and it's a straight draw. Jumps over one player, and he went the wrong way, because if he had come back this way towards the right, he'd have picked up a bunch of yards. Either way, picks up about, 8?
Well, he picked up enough to give him a fourth and
like a 4th and 2, maybe.
Yeah, but at this point,
watch this replay here.
I don't know, but you just jumped over one of the would-be tackles. I don't know if Mike Smith is going to go for it. He did it again from this point on the field in the third quarter. He went for it.
Well, his defense has played well today. They stopped him. The Phantoms had their opening drive after the Crabbers went down and scored their opening drive. Phoebus scored.
They just run out a lot of time off the clock before they called timeout.
After the Crabbers took the opening kickoff and went down and scored, Phantoms had their opening drive down for a score, and the defense for Hampton has pretty much limited them to minimal yardage since then. 29-7 is the score with 6:30 to go here in the game. That sun starting to go down behind us here is getting a little chilly up here, isn't it?
Well, it never really has warmed up a whole lot, to be honest with you. Well, this will be Mike Smith's 370th win in 35 years of coaching. 370 will be this one.
I can remember not too long ago when Hampton celebrated their 500th win.
That's the school, yeah. And that, you know, they got 500 wins, and he's got 2/3 of them. I'll tell you something about what he has done at Hampton High School since he's been there.
You talked earlier about the rivalries between Hampton Phoebus, Hampton Bethel, Hampton, and the old Newport News High School. This goes right along with it. There is a flag, and it's like they stopped the play, and that was a fourth down play.
Shift of movement too soon.
So the Crabbers are going to be pushed back in that additional 5 yards. Now, you think they're going to punt the ball now? I believe they will. If it was only 2 yards, he was going to go for it, but now it's going to be 6.
We'll listen to Bill Dozier.
Dead ball foul prior to the snap. Legal motion against the offense, remains 4th down.
Well, they probably will punt it now with that, but just want to thank all the fans coming out today. They really filled up Darling Stadium, had a nice crowd here. Okonkwo Sorrells come up and talk to us during halftime. He's here with Mike Zacharias and Curlo Taylor. As Scotty says when I talk about those three, the Comedy Channel.
Pass it into punt for Hampton.
Oh, the Cartoon Channel, okay.
It's the punt off. Nice punt heading for the sideline, and it goes out of bounds on the Hampton side at about the 37-yard line. That's where Phoebus will take over 1st and 10.
And how much time do we have left?
We're down to 6:23 to go here in the 4th period of play.
Anytime you're ready, Scotty.
Crabbers have a 22-point lead right now.
That sheet I give you, did you give it to Mr. Kellen? Give you the player of the game, the first chance we get. And here they are, player of the game, Denathan Robinson, number 2, split in for the Phantoms, and Tyrod Taylor, who had 173 yards rushing, quarterback, and did a great job at defensive back for the Crabbers. Congratulations to those 2 young men. They will receive a shirt from the Tidewater Team Sports.
Like they're making Fenner go off the field. He must have got injured during that last play. He's slow to get off, and looks like he's okay, but they're making him sit a play. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms at their own 37-yard line. 6:23 to go here in the 4th period. Ward on a keeper outside the 35, the 45.
He's on going. He got clear.
He all the way down to the Hampton 45-yard line.
That stopped the clock as they moved the chains.
About 18 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms.
Look at this run. Just unbelievable. He just kept right on going. He missed a tackle there, another one there. He gets out of it and makes a nice move here. He just picks up a lot of yardage. Just found the open spot. We got 3 receivers at the top of the field.
A little screen pass out to Vincent. He's still on his feet, and down he goes at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they may give him a yard or 2 on that.
They're going to give him a yard. 2nd down and 9. Hampton faithful are still here.
Well, they've had the sun in their face all day today, but, you know, today is not a bad time to have the sun in your face.
That's for sure.
Because they're warming you up.
Like in the upper 30s when we got here.
In fact, I heard it was 31. Scotty said when he left the house today, it was 31 degrees, so it didn't get much above that, especially in the shady side of the field.
2nd down and 9 now for the Phantoms. They have 3 wideouts to the bottom of the screen here. Ward throws the ball, intercepted. Great defensive play, and that's number 24 for the Crabbers, Marquise Bassett.
Wow.
That's another defensive effort by the Crabbers that comes up big. So the intercepted pass puts the Crabbers back in business. 1st and 10.
Watch this play. And the player was open, but he just underthrew him. Bassett went up and got that ball.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers, and now we have an unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Crabbers.
Bassett, he's just a sophomore, 5'10", 205. He's going to be a good player for the Crabbers.
There it is.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the offense, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
So instead of having the ball on the Phoebus 44, they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 41. 4:55 to go in the game. The Crabbers out in front, 29-7. Very efficient offense for the Crabbers all day today. Taylor on a handoff. He gets met almost instantly and brought down for about a 2-yard loss.
Big number 82 for the Crabbers. That's Dominic Davenport, the freshman. They're real high on. He's 5'11", 235. He showed some good speed that time coming across from his defensive end position.
It's only a loss of a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 11. Crabbers right at their own 40-yard line.
You talk about how efficient their defense have been. Their offense for the Crabbers have been just as efficient. They have not hurt themselves at all. They haven't. The penalties are Good defensive plays by the Phantoms have not hurt the Crabbers. They've come back and been able to pick up the first downs and just played well today.
Draw play will net about a yard.
And we have a Phantom.
Phoebus player down on the far side of the field, way away from the play.
Well, he was running after a defender, and I think he may have twisted his leg or something as he tried to move. And it looks like, I'm not sure if that's Robinson or not. Well, let's hope he's not hurt bad.
Not Vincent. I see Matt Wright's on the bench down here, but I don't see Vincent.
See number 2?
I don't see him either. Might be number 2 down here. And about a ref. Coaching staff and medical staff attend to the injured Phoebus player. That happened 25 yards away from the actual play. He was covering a receiver running downfield.
It looked like he may have just turned to go with him and maybe twisted a knee or an ankle or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the Nathan is right down here, so that may be Vincent.
And he is still down on his stomach, too. They have not even turned him over. That is number 12.
They're going to get the ambulance down there, it looks like. Not sure what happened on that. It's because it was not. It didn't look like there was any contact or anything.
No, as far away the ball was, we probably don't even have it on replay.
Oh no, they were zeroed in on the other 20 guys on the field.
He is moving around.
Looked like they had called for the.
They did. The stretcher's coming out now. I was watching them when they turned him over on his back, and they did it, like they were putting him on a board. You know how they turn him over? Yeah. That's how they turned him over. You have 3 minutes and 57 seconds remaining on the clock. Grabbers out in front, 29-7. All eyes right now are on our injured player.
Just to reminder the fans that we believe that the Crabbers will host a week from Saturday here at Darling Stadium. They will play either Huguenot or Matoka from the Central Division. Matoka was the number 1 seed. They are now 10-1. Huguenot, the number 3 seed, beat Deep Run. Huguenot is 8-3. So that's who the Crabbers should host next week, if our information is correct. And we want to thank all our corporate sponsors for helping us, Zooms and Tanya's Pet Center and the Subway and Eric Thompson and Park Lawn Wood Funeral. And we appreciate all our corporate sponsors. Yeah, that's there's the shot of Brent Vincent.
Hi, Vincent. Let's go, Brent. It's okay.
Well, it looks like we're getting the Northwest down here. Central goes to the Northern.
Which will be the winner of the EC Glass
Oh, that's the tough.
Massaponax game. Massaponax is undefeated.
Massaponax is 11-0, going in and playing EC Glass, who is 7-4. That's who will play down here. We will host the team from the Northwest region. Northern region, Stonebridge, playing Thomas Edison. They're both 10-1. They will be hosted by the Central, Matoka and Huguenot. I don't know who gave us that, but I do appreciate that information.
They got him on the stretcher now. And, no, they don't either.
Hands off to our crew, our cameras.
Standing
Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Stephen Fryer, Mike Nowinski, and Ron ESPN Baton. Camera control Sarah Myers, graphics and animation Andy Foley, slow motion history replay Andre Mattingly, production assistant Renee Camden. Susan looks a little chilly up there. She's in the shade. Oh, that's Braxton. He wanted to build a fire out there. Audio and chief engineer Don Charaus and the director producer Scotty Bowers. We do appreciate our crew. They do a great job. They get here early. They get everything set up so it makes it easier for us making this broadcast. If he is up on his own, that's a good sign.
They got him up. He walked over to the stretcher, and I think they put him on it. But there's so many people over there, it's hard for us to even see it. They did go ahead and put him on the stretcher, even though he walked to it, or he was helped over there to it. Take him to the hospital and check him out and make sure he's okay.
You hate to see any player get hurt.
Especially with only 3.5 minutes to go in the game.
Right, and this young man is a tremendous basketball player. They got a new coach over this year, James Daniels, who was the JV coach at Bethel High School for many years, is now the head coach over Phoebus. So, he's hoping it's not a very serious injury. But if he can get up and walk to the stretcher, that's a good sign. Got some statistics we can give the fans, Brent, Bob. Need a little airtime here. Those guys, they're playing with the micro, with the binoculars. I don't think they heard a word I said, did they?
Has Bob ever heard us? And Mr. Ewing down there saying, let's get the clock running. All right, we're getting ready to start back up here. The Crabbers will have a third down and 10 coming up. 3:57 to go in the fourth period of play, out in front by a score of 29-7. Bill Dozier will sooner or later blow the whistle. Here we go. Third down and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 42-yard line.
That's
like
number 12.
Direct pass to Fenner, who ends up being hit as he's thrown and is picked off by the Phantoms, number 30. And that is Tyrod Taylor, who pulls down the Phantom at their own 41.
And that's the first time we've seen that play. There was a direct snap
Watch
to
him
Fenner.
get hit just as he throws the ball. I thought the receiver back there, who happened to be Taylor, was double covered, was not open to begin with. So the Phantoms, after the Crabbers' first turnover of the game, will take over first and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
That's the second turnover.
Second turnover. That's right. Got to charge him with a fumble on the onside kick. First and 10 Phantoms at their own 41. And off is to Mathis up the middle. Taken down at the midfield stripe.
And that pick up about 9 yards.
Second down and 1 for the Phantoms.
Watch, this is just nothing fancy except the runner, and he is not easy to bring down.
Of course, he was thrown about 2 yards forward on the tackle.
Hey, take him any way you can get him.
Second down and 1. The handoff up the middle.
That'll pick up the first down and stop the clock.
All the way to the Crabber 45-yard line. Brown on the carry. Pickup of right at, 5 on the play? First and 10.
Like 5.
But the clock is their enemy now. We're down to 2:55 on a running clock. Back to pass. This time he tucks it in and runs. He's still free.
And I think Aaron thought he was going to get hit. I think he thought he was going to get hit, and he didn't get hit.
Picks up, about 8 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 2 at the Crabber 36.
And Taylor had 23 rushes for 184 yards through 5 of 7 for 97 yards.
That's pretty efficient.
Hey, that's 270 yards of total offense.
Pass was thrown a little bit short as Aaron Ward was being tackled as he let loose with the ball, so it's an incomplete pass. Third down and just under 2. 2:15 as you see the clock with the score. 29-7. Crabbers out in front.
There was a receiver wide open over there in the flat. I thought that's who he's going to throw.
Well, he got ready to do it, and the linebacker backed up on it. He spotted him just as he was backing up, so that's why he pulled it back in.
That was
Mathis on the carry up the middle. Big yardage down close to the Crabber 20-yard line. That'll be good for another first down as the Phantoms are driving down the field.
Watch the replay. Just a simple handoff. Nice blocking at the point of attack. And then Mathis just runs and to the open spot, and he's tackled at the 21.
First and 10, Phoebus. 2 minutes to go. Robinson going to the far side. Corey Vincent is the wide out to the near side as the ball hands off to the tailback. He's stopped after about a yard, maybe 2.
Mathis, that time there was no hole. He jumped over one would-be tackler, but that was all. As he jumped over him, 2 more were there, so he didn't have anywhere to go.
90 seconds left in the game, a minute and a half. Ball sitting just inside of the Crabbers 20-yard line. Second down and 9.
That's that inside handoff that they've run 2 or 3 times. They've had real good success. First time they ran it, but after that has not been real good success.
That was Haroon Brown. Picks up about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a third down and then 5 for the Phantoms. We're under a minute to go. I'm waiting to see, are we going to have some buckets of water thrown over there? Doesn't look like it.
This be awful cold.
Passes, intended for Vincent in the corner.
No, that was number 4.
Who is number 4?
Corey Vincent. Oh, that's another Vincent. Okay. Corey Vincent. Oh, we got Corey Vincent in there. He's
incomplete
a senior.
Pass.
Senior 6'3", 170.
Good pass.
Almost came down with it.
Almost came up with the pass. Fourth down and 5 with the ball sitting at the Crabbers 16-yard line. 45 seconds to go on the clock. Crabbers out in front, 29-7. Eastern Region Championship game. Win advances to next week's state semifinal game. Back to pass is Ward. And it goes right through the hands of the intended receiver, who was Robinson. So the Crabbers will take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line with 41 seconds to go here in the fourth period of play.
That'll wrap it up.
Down the ball a couple times and complete the season. Excellent season so far for the Phoebus Phantoms. They will end 11-1. Crabbers will travel on to play in the semifinals next week against the Northwest Region champion.
Northwest, yes.
And at this point in time, we believe it's here at Darling Stadium next Saturday.
It is. It said on the paper that hosts here. They will host the
Taylor will take the snap and kneel down. He's just wasting some clock there. 38 seconds to go as the clock is running down.
Let that clock run out.
Waiting for the referee to start the clock. He's down to 26, so the Crabbers do not have to run another play.
Let it run out. And
down to 16 seconds.
Crabbers came out and played a rather perfect game today. They made very few mistakes.
Should be, yeah, it's auto.
You can see the stands are almost empty.
And that'll do it. The Hampton Crabbers have won the Eastern Region Championship over the Phoebus Phantoms here at Darling Stadium by a score of 29-7. I want to thank Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Brent Musgrove. Mike Hauser here along at Darling Stadium. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Zoom Sitco with locations throughout the peninsula. Subway located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue. Great subs, salads, and wraps. Tanya Super Pet Center, where pets are not just animals, at 49 West Mercury Boulevard. And in part by Eric Thompson Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell your home at 881-2004. And in part by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Next week, right here at Darling Stadium, the Hampton Crabbers will be playing in the state semifinal game. Opponent to be named probably sometime tomorrow. We will see you next Saturday here at Darling Stadium. Good night, everyone.